the 18th of April. Show kicks off with Big E versus Alberto Del Rio. And on Big E's way to the ring, he gets a little second screen promo thing. Not a device, just when they do a split screen thing. And this is more what he should be doing. He's showing he's got personality. He's quite entertaining on the mic. He might not be great at just ad-libbing, but if you give him a little bit of time, he can come up with good promos. And NXT, he was doing good promos. Bring back the 5-time gimmick, where he beats someone, but then he has to count to 5 to get the pin. But I'm glad they actually gave him a little bit of a promo here. This is the closest he's had to character since winning the title. And then he gets a match with Alberto. In fairness, this is a good match. Crowd are really behind Big E for the match. Good back and forth. Big E gets a big kick out because Alberto hits the backstabber, which Big E gets the kick out of. Gets to also break out of the arm breaker. I thought he was going to go for a lifting spot, but he seemed to then just go for the ropes. Don't know if he just sort of changed his mind or just rolled over to get the leverage. But then the bad thing is Alberto then holds on to the cross arm breaker for too long and gets DQ'd. Why? What reason did this have? You've already had, like, Big E in the last few weeks lose cleanly to Alberto. Is it really a bad thing if Alberto loses to Big E? You know, the Intercontinental Champion beating just some guy? Oh, it just pisses me off. Like, you've got a big tournament going for the Intercontinental title, making it a really big thing, but then you have your champion just win by DQ. You should have Big E steamrolling guys, make him look like a monster, so the winner of this tournament is going to face a damn tough champion. Ugh, not the way I'd like it to go, but at least Big E didn't get a clean loss again. But he does get the advantage in the brawl afterwards. Alberto attacks him, but Big E gets the big ending in, looking strong-ish. But would have looked stronger if he had just beaten Alberto, if he was going to hit the big ending on him anyway. Oh, c'est la vie. After this, Triple H comes out and cuts a nice little promo, also advertising main event, which looks like main event is actually starting to serve a purpose. They're actually having storyline carry on through main events. So I might have to start checking it out. Don't know if I'll do reviews on it, but I might like skim over the main points from it. But yeah, apparently the Shield just ignored Triple H, and the only one that said anything was Reigns, who just said, "Kings don't win wars, soldiers do." And then Triple H's rebuttal is, "Soldiers are the currency on which empires are bought, and the Shield have lost their value." Good. I really like this sort of king being dethroned. Good little, not montage, that's not the word. Good little metaphors for their situation of Triple H being the king and the Shield with his soldiers for a while, but now they're going to dethrone their king. It's a good little play on words. But yeah, and also Triple H announces that there will be the 6-man tag, Evolution versus the Shield. Can't wait to see this match. Really looking forward to it. Does make me a little bit disappointed though, like in Daniel Bryan's first title defense is just going to be, it has to be against Kane. There's no one else it's going to be against. And he's got a match with Kane, so I can see that just being a brawl and then not having a non-finish, then it'll lead into the pay-per-view. But at least that generally means Daniel Bryan's going to keep the title for more than a month. Yes! Now, something I didn't like was straight after Triple H, we got Paul Heyman. It's like, I love Paul Heyman, think this is a good promo, should have been there, but maybe put a match in between. Just having 2 promos, one after the other, isn't a good flow, and I was sort of getting a bit like, come on Heyman, hurry up. But Paul Heyman, I can't say it's one of his technically best ever articulated speeches of all time, but it got the point across that his client, Brock Lesnar, broke the streak. His client, Brock Lesnar, broke the streak. His client, Brock Lesnar broke the streak, and basically he just shouts this at the crowd 10 times, going out, hanging out the ropes, getting on his knees, screaming it, and it is just riling up the crowd. I thought we would have got like a Antonio Cesaro beating up someone like a Zack Ryder after this, but no, it was just a Paul Heyman promo, which I think it's better if the manager like puts over his other client with it, not just put over like himself as a heel. Bit odd. Yep, and then to finish with, he says, my client Brock Lesnar defeated the streak, to make it 11 times in one promo. But thank God we get some wrestling after this, because we get Paige coming out. So happy to see Paige. Oh. But unfortunately, she is against the most dangerous diva in wrestling, Oksana. Who knows what body part she's going to break. Oh, and they do, like, the worst thing than her wrestling is her on a promo. Oh, she is awful. She just doesn't really seem to know. Like, I can forget, like, the accent is fine, and, like, a bit of bad English is, well, it just fits in with a foreign character, but just the fact the delivery was just meh, 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 and she didn't really sound confident saying it. But regardless, Oksana does better than she usually does here. Again, I'm not a fan, like, they seem to really like making Paige the underdog, and she's not. She is better than most of the roster, especially in Oksana. She is such a better wrestler than her. I'm glad to see the crowd is still behind Paige, and Oksana got her ass kicked, getting the lovely submission move by Paige for the win. But yeah, then the interesting thing is apparently on main event again, Tamina Snuka won a battle royale to be the #1 contender. After I saw this, I decided to check WWE.com. I couldn't see anything about AJ leaving, but this has me really worried for AJ. She drops the title, haven't seen her since, and now she hasn't got a rematch because someone else is #1 contender. You already lost Caitlyn, like my second favourite diva from this current and past year. And now if you lose AJ as well, it's like if Paige doesn't have good people to go against, it worries me. Though, not saying Tamina's a bad wrestler. Out of the ones there, she is one of the best, and she's also probably their like biggest, strongest one. So if Paige gets a victory over her, that'll be quite a big deal. But I'm just really worried for AJ, who's been the top diva for over a year now, and really battled some shitty storylines to get on top. We'll have to see where they go with this on Raw. And finally, after that, we get a backstage interview with Sheamus. And it's your usual sort of facey, rambly Sheamus here promo. Talks about the old times back in Ireland, where he kicked some guy into a bog and give me a little shillelagh. Yeah, I even being Britain, I am Britain myself. Being British, I got lost with Sheamus's promo here. I got no idea what some of the references were. So I assume Americans, absolutely no idea. They probably don't even know where Ireland is. But yeah, it means we're going to get a Batista vs Sheamus match later in the night, which actually should be an interesting affair. Batista's not done too many solo matches. Hornswoggle turned heel? Really? This is kind of a unexpected event. I suppose with the introduction of El Torito, they were obviously going to do Little Man vs Little Man at some point, but didn't see this coming. He's apparently joined up with 3MB. Yeah, he's basically replaced Heath Slater. And frankly, he's probably a bigger name than Heath Slater is at this point in time. But yeah, so they give us a little just message saying that happened, and then they come out. Hornswoggle comes out with Drew and Jinder. Well, El Torito, of course, is with El Matadors. And the people on the outside literally have nothing to do with this match. They just let Hornswoggle and El Torito have a match, and my God, they actually do it. I just thought this was going to be such a gimmick, silly thing, but they actually just wrestled. Hornswoggle is far better than I thought he ever would be. He was actually controlling the match. He was the one showing character. It was incredible. I was sort of blown away with these two guys just working. Hornswoggle actually does do really good heel. Again, I was absolutely shocked. Eventually it does come down to El Torito hitting the moonsault, springboarding up to the top, and hitting the moonsault off there, and the 1, 2, 3. This was, again, I was just so shocked that this worked. It's been a while. I watched back in the 90s where midget matches actually were quite frequent. You'd get midget versions of wrestlers just fighting it out or just getting beaten up. A certain Bret Hart midget got Sweet Chin musicked after a certain Bret Hart left a certain company. So midgets used to just be used as like a foil. And like in today's like PC society, I can see where they like went away from that. But this is like, there's no reason to complain. This is just two performers going out there and doing a match. This wasn't like a gimmick. The commentators were horrendous for this. Michael Cole and JBL like, oh, short jokes are funny. But no, it was just stupid. But no, good match. I'd actually like to see a couple more of these, see if they can do a bit more. But well done, you two. Bravo. And then after that, we've got some bad news for you. He's back on his podium, which is, as soon as I saw it, I was just a little bit worried. But as long as it doesn't stop him getting in the ring, we're good. Just came out, insulted the midget match, and that's it. That's bad news, Barrett. Then after this, we get, which was set up from Raw, Rufy, Ralph, Alexander versus R-Truth. Again, it's just a squash match. R-Truth gets a bit more offense off than Xavier Wood did, but still, Alexander comes out on top. Camel clutch, really like the move. It just, because he's such a big, imposing guy, it looks really good on him. And then, of course, Xavier comes in for the save, and that doesn't work out too well for him. And he just gets beaten up as well. Again, we'll see what happens when they start giving a bit more character, but for now, just running through these two is sort of good for him. Then we get a one-on-one match between Santino Marella and Fandango. Both with their respective females in their corners. Santino and Emma, like, Emma rolls in the ring as Santino gets in, and Santino trips over her. There's just, I really like the bit of slapstick they're doing together. But all in all, it was a short little match from them. A few little comedy spots. They went to repeat the spot they did where Layla stole the Cobra, but Emma just runs round the ring and dives on Layla, just knocking her down. Fandango again goes for the quick roll-up, but Santino counters, gets a roll-up of his own, 1, 2, 3. So they're even at this time, I think, in sort of match wins. Yeah, and then just the best moment of this match was just the final segment, like, Emma's in the ring, like, yeah, high five, Santino's got the Cobra on, and high fives her with the Cobra, and just her arm just drops. It was stupid, but it was just some fun slapstick. And Emma's just selling it like her arm's poisoned, and they're trying to lift it, and it just keeps flopping back down. A lot of people I know are going to probably complain about it, but I really enjoyed it. It was something stupid. It was just fun. It's what you want from these two. But after that, we get our main event of the evening, which is Batista versus the Celtic warrior Sheamus, old lobster head himself. And I'll just say it, I was not expecting much, but these two did it. This was a good match, despite the two people in the match being not being smart fans' favourites. These two went out there and did it. I'll give Batista credit. He actually looked good in this match. Not like his Royal Rumble debut where he was blown up. Not like his match against Alberto, which was just dreadful. But no, Sheamus and Batista work really good together. These two could actually have a program, and I wouldn't be absolutely bored as long as it doesn't go for like months and months. But yeah, they're just two big, burly guys just battering each other. Really nice. Yeah, no particular events from this. Batista got a clean win over Sheamus, which pretty much no one already does. Just with a nice Batista bomb. Again, he's picking up probably one of the biggest guys in the company and giving him a Batista bomb, so there's not many people he wouldn't be able to do it to. Just getting Batista over as a threat. No beatdown or anything after this. It was just a straight up match. And it was a good match. It was a really good match. I know people are so eager to like beat on Batista, and a lot of people are just like so bored of Sheamus, but damn it, when you see a good match you have to admit it's good. But yeah, after this, not much storyline really coming out of this apart from the 6-man tag. No, 3-man tag. Basically the Evolution vs Shield match. There we go. That's the main point we got out of SmackDown. Not much else sort of really to carry on forward from this point on. But yeah, that was my opinions and thoughts on SmackDown. If you have any better thoughts and opinions, put them in the comment section below. Feel free to contact me, either congratulate me on my amazing wisdom, or tell me I'm a bit rubbish and tell me what is your opinion. What's better? What is going to happen in your eyes? And I will see you next time. So, till then, TTFN.
Relinquish your grasp upon me.